Williams. I represent the 25th District of Texas in the United States Congress and also help coach the Republican Congressional baseball team. This morning, as you know, we were attacked by a gunman at our press conference. There will be those who will talk about what's wrong with America, but in this case, Officers Griner and Bailey, we saw what's right with America. We saw two people risk their lives to save the lives of others. We saw courage in the face of death. And we saw examples of why all Americans should be grateful every day for law enforcement officers around this country. There could have easily been 25 deaths or more today. I think we had 25 team players and about 15 staff. But Officers Griner and Bailey prevented that, and my family and I will be forever grateful. The thin blue line held today, and law enforcement officers everywhere should be proud. And Americans everywhere should be thankful that this is still the kind of country that still produces these kinds of heroes. So I ask everybody to join me in praying for the victims and for their full recoveries before you go to bed tonight. I'll be happy to take some questions. I will briefly just tell you my story. I was on the third base side hitting ground balls to Trent Kelly and Ron DeSantis. Little did I know that the perpetrator was probably 20 yards from me. I went around the first base side to hit Congressman Scalise's ground balls. I did that. The first one I hit him, the shots went off. I heard the first shot, and I wasn't sure. I thought maybe it was a backfiring of a car, but then the second and the third, and everybody yelled, "He's got a gun, run for cover." And that's what I did, and fortunately I was on the first base side, and just emotions take over. I ran to the first base dugout, which is in the ground about 7 feet, and I literally dove into that dugout. It'd be like diving, I guess, into a swimming pool with no water. But I did, and in there were some of my other colleagues. Zach Barth, who works for me, was shot while he was retrieving balls in the outfield. When I got into the dugout, it wasn't 10 seconds. Then Zach had come running in from the outfield, and we landed in each other's arms. He held me, I held him. Jeff Flake took his belt off and made a tourniquet around Zach's leg to stop the bleeding. I remember, and Chuck Fleischman was on the phone to 911 screaming to hurry up and get here. Jack Barton, Joe's son, was in the dugout with us, and we were all taking care of him. Just trying to take care of each other. There was a lot of heroes today among my friends. It's something I will not forget. It seemed like it went forever. The police say they got here in about 3 or 4 minutes, and I'm sure that's the case. But it was a long time. They say 60 shots were fired. But without our Capitol Police, who literally took a step forward when they didn't have to, they could have stepped backwards. They stepped forward. They saved all of us out there. There is no question about it. We had no arms. All we had was bats and the shooter. But I'm praying for Whip Scalise, the policeman, Micah, and then my young man that works for us in our office, Zach, who will be fine. So with that, I'll be glad to take some questions, if you have any. Yes, ma'am. I have not talked to him, but I understand all the reports I get that he's doing well, out of surgery. I'm not a doctor, but all reports are he's going to make a full recovery. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. I forgot about that. I guess when I dove into the dugout, I have done something. I've been to the hospital in Alexandria, took really good care of me. I want to thank the nurses and the doctors. I'll be going back to Texas after the game tomorrow night to let my doctors see what they need to do as far as my ankle and my leg and my feet. But that's the injury I have. It's a ankle, leg injury that they have got me going to where I can move around and be okay tomorrow at the game, and then I'll go home tomorrow night to get fixed. Everybody did what they needed to do. A lot of brave people serve in the United States Congress. Yes, sir.
Can you elaborate on your staffer's condition? Representative Barton said he had been released from hospital.
He has been released in the hospital. He was shot in the leg. He was in the outfield. I give him credit. I think Zach is probably 23, 24. All the time he was bleeding and we were under fire, he was texting. He was texting, letting people know we were under fire and that we needed help. So he's doing great. Vice President Pence has spoken to him. I'm grateful for that, for his talking to Zach. So he's on the road to recovery. Yes, ma'am.
Congressman, will the team plan on having practice tomorrow morning? I know the game's still set to be on, but what about practice?
Well, some of us are on the injured reserve list right now. But I think we were supposed to have a breakfast tomorrow. That's been canceled, I believe. And I believe what we will have is get there a little early tomorrow night, maybe have a little prayer service or something, and then play baseball. And if you're not sure which one I'll be the one coaching third on crutches. Okay? But we're going to play. We need to play. This is a game that's been going on for over 100 years. It goes to charity, and we need to play this baseball game. And so I'm excited that we decided to do that. I talked to the speaker today about it, told him that I felt like we should play. And I know he talked to Congressman Doyle and Congressman Barton. We all agreed we need to play baseball. So. Well, that's a great question. I think it's important because I think these people that want to destroy our lives and our livelihood here in America, they win if we give in. America doesn't give out. America doesn't give in. And we must play this baseball game. If we don't play this baseball game and we go home, then they win. So that's the reason. This is America, the greatest country in the world. If you punch us, we will punch back. And we're going to play baseball tomorrow.
Bishop described the situation where we were sitting ducks, guns saving our lives. Can you comment on that as far as your feelings?
Well, it took the second shot for me to understand what was happening and hear everybody. And we were sitting ducks. I mean, we had nothing to fight back with but bats if it got to that. We were sitting ducks. I think he was not able to get on the field because the gate was locked on the other side. If he'd gotten on the field, it could have been a bad situation, but he wasn't able to do that. But we were sitting ducks. I mean, you got 40 people on a baseball stadium, field, and at 7 o'clock in the morning, he just decided to shoot.